Alrighty then. Well, do we have a video to today? Now, I am a absolute in love with JK Rowling. Now, not only is she an incredibly gorgeous woman, and someone who I would love to marry for, happy ever after. But she's also a outspoken, opinionated woman who doesn't give a fuck what other people think, just like me. So she's just like me. I don't give a shit what other people think about me and my opinions. So I mean, J.K. Rowling is just like me in every way. Now she has become almost a crusader for women's rights and the anti-trans movement, someone who is very outspoken against this ideology, someone who is extraordinarily motivated to just speak her mind, say what she thinks, and not give a flying fuck what other people think. Now, hilariously, and this is something that I could never have seen in a million years coming, because the UK is such a progressive society. They have the huge problem with migrants. They have the massive amounts of public discourse over their controlling nature of free speech, and they seem to almost be moving towards a authoritarian government that's pro-migration, anti-nationalism, and it is something that is sickening to see, because deep down, there's so many people from the UK I just fucking love. I just feel like they're awesome people, but they are getting shafted so hardcore in many of these progressive movements. But there's one that surprisingly they just won a huge victory over. So let's look at that. So this is the BBC, obviously their big ass news network. Judges at the UK Supreme Court have unanimously ruled that a woman is defined by biological sex under equalities law. Now, that is going to make the Rainbow Crew go absolutely fucking ballistic, because their whole shtick has always been that a trans woman is a woman. AKA, if a man dresses like a woman, he's a woman. Like, by like true definition. Which is so. Here's the thing: is that you can never get these people. You can never get normal people that encompass, probably about 90% of people think this way. Just normal people, heterosexual, normal, straight, whatever you want to call it. I will not use the word cisgender, because that's like a fucking slur towards normal people that are just like, oh, I just do what biology normally tells me to. So you have to come up with this made up fucking word called cisgender. Like, he's cisgender. This is just so, this is just like, cisgender people are so weird. No, it's like fucking 95% of people are normal, straight normal. So, obviously there's going to be huge pushback from the rainbow crowd over this, because it's the type of thing where they don't want they don't want to just, you know, they're fine to live as they are. They have all the rights they want in the world. They can just be who they are. Nobody is telling them they can't be this way. But they don't want just that. They want it written into laws. They want you taken down for misgendering someone. They want not using pronouns to be an offense. They want this stuff, and they will fight to the nth degree, and they've proven that they are, like this. So, yeah, UK Supreme Court ruled Wednesday that women is someone born biologically as female, including excluding transgender people from the legal definition. I mean, obviously, yeah. I mean, like, anybody with a brain could have told that, but I mean, they took going into the actual fucking courts to get this. Now, of course, J.K. Rowling, who has been this massive kind of rallying call towards saying, like, protect women's rights, real women, biological women. and all this nonsense is just nonsense. Like, do not pay attention to this. I mean, look at this shit from these people. Isn't it funny how the fucking flag people and the rainbow people are always the most vile people online. They're they attack people online. They come after them. They're not accepting, and they just have this feeling. And this has caused this whole thing. Okay, this has caused all these people to to go so firmly against it is because they seem to have this fucking aura that they're like, like some type of militia that's fighting for their humanity. Nobody telling you that you cannot be trans. You in Western society, you have more fucking rights than people have ever had. Just enjoy them. There's nothing else you need to do. You don't need to force people to do this. You don't need to make changes to society. You have everything you've ever wanted and more. And they just keep trying to take more. But look at the shit that these fucking people put. And I'm like, of course she had to pin this because this is just disgusting. You're a stupid, horrible woman. My kids enjoy burning your books and all this. Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny that the accepting, tolerant left, the people that are so very, very, oh, we want peace and equality, they will fucking say shit like this. They will go after Tesla dealerships. They are deranged, crazy people, and people need to say it what it is. So of course, fucking JK Rowling is just loving this. Winners in the Supreme Court today: women's rights, including transgender, gay people, freedom of speech, freedom of association, those at risk of discrimination. Yeah, yeah. I mean, they continue to benefit from maternity rights. Imagine how amazing how crazy that sounds. Is it maternity for a man? Men in women's prisons because they think that they want to be a woman. It's just insanity. It's just fucking insanity. And majority of the public think this way, and there's like that small 5 to 1% of people, we're not sure exactly what it is, but it's low. It's extremely low of the people who are just championing this stuff and wanting to push it over all our feeds, and that's that. So Rowling is just loving this. She's so awesome, and she's just like, look at this. We toasted for you, women for women, and yeah, and like women do need to respect this. I mean, you have shit like that fucking pool thing in the UK, where the top women's pool championship or whatever, and there's two dudes playing at the very top of it. Like, women need to recognize that this is harming their their spaces. If dudes can just come in and just be women anywhere they want, and then women like get excluded from. Maybe obviously there's the South Park Macho Man Randy Savage example of how men biologically are much stronger than women. They're capable of more physical exertion. They're just we're built for this. And to put a man who's pretending to be a woman into a space that's like physical, all that, they're just basically cheating. And that's kind of where it is. So yeah, I mean, women like JK Rowling are championing real women. They're making them more heard. And this insanity of just that a dude can just go, oh, I'm a woman now. I put on some makeup and do up my hair, and now I'm a woman. It's like it's destroying the fabric of what women have in society, which is women deserve to have their own kind of uh, identity. You know, I think that trying to make it seem as if like no, a trans person is a woman, like real officially. Like everybody knows that they're not a real woman. Like we are biological beings. It's just like a fact. It's like our body's skeletal system are designed completely different, and no amount of surgery, no amount of chemical, no amount of anything can make a man into a woman. There's just no way of doing it. It's scientifically impossible. So to this whole thing about how it has to be that way is just insanity. And people really speak out about it. And JK Rowling is one of the people she does do that. And she's just loving every second of this because I believe she's from the UK, or not. Now, of course, she's famous for creating Harry Potter. Um, and I mean now, of course, it's bought for, and it's not even a part of her really anymore. Look at this insanity. I just thought this tweet was just absolute fucking incredible. This is just, I could not believe this. An ominous rumble of distant thunder. Storm clouds blot out the sun. Songbirds fall silent. The very air seems to hold breath. Mother from all seat of the car is brewing. Now listen to what this person posts. I've always been a woman. I remain a woman, and I will die a woman. I fought hard to be me, suffered sacrifice, pain, and abuse. No corrupt court or whiskey old fart judge who refused to hear any trans advocacy will ever take that away from me. They can't because I am who I am, a female. That's a dude posting that. Like, what the fuck? Like, really. And this is where this debate goes every time, is that as free as they should be to be who they are, yeah, I'm a woman and that, everybody else should be free to say, you know what? I believe that there is a man and there is a woman, and that's all there is to it. There's nothing, anything else is just, your sexual preferences or whatnot, or kinks, or those sort of things. It's not real. Don't make it out to be some type of real thing. And this is the craziness that you get, is that, like, why are no media outlets reporting those who backed and funded the transphobic, anti-trans, anti-issuing, blah 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 for Scotland? They have J.K. Rowling. Of course, they're gonna come after this. Look at what she says. J.K. Rowling has never given the Women for Scott money. J.K. Rowling definitely has. Yeah, I mean it's awesome, and that is the thing that you can see. Like, women deserve to be recognized as women. They really do, and to suddenly have this whole thing where now any man can come along and say I'm a woman now, I'm an official woman. Getting all getting into women's bathrooms, getting into women's locker rooms, getting into all these things. It's I don't know. It's to me, it's like you're free. You should be free to be whoever you want to be. If you want to be a chicken, if you identify as a fucking chicken, fine. I'm not gonna stop you. You're not. You shouldn't be repressed. You shouldn't be, locked away for that. But what you should be is you should be pretty clairvoyant to the fact that if you go around identifying as a chicken, people are not going to treat you very normally because it's not a normal thing. There's not thousands of chicken people running around, you know? It's like the weirdness of furries. It's like most normal people are not going to accept that lifestyle. And you don't go see furries going around saying furry rights. Let's get legislation passed so we're allowed to wear our costumes in fucking school and shit. It's just never gonna happen. And this is where this debate goes every time in my mind, is that you are never going to get regular people to agree with this thing. And surprisingly, out of nowhere, despite all the bad shit UK has done towards its citizens, they're finally getting some type of, truth in the world. You got to give it the truth, because at the end of the day, a man is a man and a woman is a woman. I love being a man. I've been a man my whole life. It's awesome being a man. I would never not want to be a man. So to me, it's an alien fucking concept that a person like I would ever can even consider dressing in a skirt or a dress, if anything besides just a joke, or for, like a buddy's wedding or something, or you know uh like and don't even get me started on like the surgeries they can have, the chemicals they can use, the all the things that try really, in my opinion, take it too far. And kids, anybody under 18 should be absolutely not even allowed to show this type of stuff to, because that's where it starts. There's plenty of cases where it's like the parent is trans and makes their kid trans, and it's like, what the fuck are we doing here, people? Are we mentally retarded or what? So, I mean, the term woman and sex in the Equality Act refers to biological woman and biological sex, but we console against any reading and judgment of triumph among groups in our society. It is not Supreme Court. Yeah, I mean, trans people have rights which are attached to protective characteristic of gender reassignment. So I mean, they have the whole thing of gender and sex, and like to me, it's like the same fucking thing. I had no idea when it started, but when I was in uh when I was in like a kid in school, there was none of this stuff. There was none of it in school. There was none of it on around the courtyard. There was just none of it. It's like in this last, we always used to call them cross dressers back in the day. It used to just be there was a cross dressing person. Okay, yeah, fine. You can be a cross dresser. Funnily enough, now it's become this huge like movement. Well, not huge, but there's those people in society that are very loud, and they're this very loud majority. It's like that little dog that is like teeny, but is barking the most and is most obnoxious. It's that kind of thing. So you're gonna have the other side saying this is an attack, saying words like they're committing, very harsh wordings. They're gonna have very very harsh words to look at the look on that woman's face. And women should be championing these things. This is a women's issue. Men, it's like most men, trust me, almost every single man out there who's a normal man is going to be like, okay, like you want to do that, fine, go ahead and do that, but that is not, it's not normal. Like men are that way, but when these things are taking and you know basically removing women's identities, and transforming and changing what it means to actually be a woman, it's just wrong, and it's crazy. I cannot believe the UK went for this. So I mean, JK Rowling, amazing woman, absolutely fantastic. How she's opinionated, she's intelligent. She's got it going on. And I would absolutely love to be a gold digging this. And you get people like this, Ed Sheeran, who's hates J.K. Rowling just because she's against leftist bullshit. You get stuff like that. You get people this, but she just doesn't give a shit. And oops, it was Rolling Stone. Oh, so this is another one today. So proud. J.K. Rowling breaks silence after UK Supreme Court woman means that. Look at that. Look at that. In schools, and this stuff was never in my school when I was young. None of it. And now they're teaching it. They're not gonna stop. I've said this many times, is that this insanity will not stop until we're forced to take mandatory night courses against our will on this stuff. They it's like that one of the things. You kind of did it to yourself. People fight so hard back against this stuff because the other side is being so obnoxious and so intrusive that we have no choice. Yeah, we have no choice. Now, I've worked with people who are, I think it's like, what, non-binary? What's the one where you're kind of not a man and not a woman? I don't know. One of those. But like, I've worked with people, and I've seen that like, sometimes they're not very nice people. And I believe in a society where everybody's nice to everyone 24/7. There's no conflicts. Now, is that possible with humanity? Fucking no. Humans are always fighting with each other over something as mundane as their what they do in the bedroom, in behind closed doors. But yeah, I mean, it's a rare W for the UK justice system, who is seemingly taking away every single right imaginable, to people, which is surprising. But yeah, I mean, J.K. Rowling is just a great person. Now, these are the types of people that we need at our, like, in our, like, influencers, right? Talk about influencers. So many influencers out there are just fucking retrogrades. They just completely shitheads that, somehow got a following online. But people like J.K. Rowling, she stands by her opinions. She fights for what's right. She does what she fucking says she does, and she stands by her opinions. And that is a truly, you know, that is something to look out for. That is something to totally look out for. And what an excellent woman. She's just amazing. And trust me, I have the biggest crush on J.K. Rowling. She's just absolutely incredible. Yeah, I don't know. So I mean, yeah, you gotta really commend such an intelligent and great woman who champions things that are so important. Because otherwise, and she's just utterly stuck to it. My auntie he doesn't agree with. And a lot of these actors, I'm saying this right out loud, is a lot of these actors, they're just trying to make bank. Don't want to go speaking out about, J.K. Rowling's a fucking billionaire. Here, let's see. What is her net worth? J.K. Rowling net worth. This is hilarious. You would not give a flying fuck about any opportunity. She's in her, I think she's like 60 or so. Let's see. So she's worth $1 billion. So she's rich forever. She doesn't have to ever worry about money. It's like she's gonna be collecting royalties off of, Harry Potter literally forever. So I mean, that is the essence. But let's see, what's her age? 60. Yeah, so she's 60 years old. So, like, this guy Robert Grint, a lot of these people are just following a fucking crowd. Weasley, I fucking know it. These people are just trying to collect that bank. And when you go around saying, like, fucking, a man is man, a woman is a woman, and fucking, like, get the immigrants out and all these other things, you're gonna lose a lot of this leftist sphere, which is so inundated in media and art. And Weasley, I know what you're fucking up to. He doesn't. He probably in his mind could think like, well, I wouldn't ever want to transition, but he'll play that fiddle to get his next opportunity as a person who I would imagine hasn't done almost anything since playing, Ron Weasley, and probably is one of those roles. Now, Daniel Radcliffe, on the other hand, has had awesome roles. He's a great actor, and I freaking love the guy. But people like him, who only has really had one role and maybe making bank off some things, he's still got a long road ahead of him, and he's trying not to burn any bridges with the leftist media. So I mean, that's what these people do. They will do those kinds of things, and it's toxic in our society because everybody follows a crowd because they want to say the wrong thing. And it's like, you know, yeah, you gotta really fucking wonder these things. So it's a very fun situation that, you know, I firmly, of course, am of the like as of the personal opinion that a man cannot be a woman cannot be a man. This is a scientific fact. I am not going to think a different way on this. And you were not going to, no matter how many people bitch and whine in the comments, or bitch and whine in my tweets, or bitch and whine in the fucking things, you're never going to get me to accept this. And that's the way it is with most people in general, is that no matter what they do, they're not going to change the way people think about this stuff. There's just no way. And there's this overwhelming majority of people who think this way. And yeah, it's, it's a debate that's not going away anytime soon, but things like this are starting to show face of a more right leaning world, at least in the West. People are fed up with seeing insane stories on their feeds all day, and you know, DEI checklists, and you know, fucking like, you go to type in your name, or your gender or sex or whatever on a fucking checklist, and it's like male, female, non-binary, trans, genderqueer, beebs, beeb, and you're just like, what the fuck are we doing here, people? You know, honestly. So, I mean, yeah, it's a major victory for a considerably unexpected thing. And look at JK Rowling's so epic. She'll go fighting these motherfuckers in the comments. She'll go trolling. She's just awesome, and it speaks to a. So, look at this. It's like, this is a woman worth $1 billion fucking dollars. And you know, I have as many followers on Twitter as this person. This it's just trolling this person. Oh, this is amazing. I love how outspoken she is. I'm putting that. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. It sucks Harry Potter is now tainted with stupid bitches and this political nonsense. Ugh. Sure, Bob Jones. Yeah, yeah. I'm really sure Bob Jones is been on Twitter since 2010 and only has 382 followers. Yeah, really likable dude there. So I mean, yeah, it's beautiful. So I mean, yeah, you have things like this. She'll just like, this woman's worth $1 billion. You know, ultra famous. You know, she can just sit in her castle on her, you know, top of the line iPhone, just like, I win. It's awesome. She's so awesome. I fucking love JK Rowling. She's incredible, and she is prime waifu material. I must say, absolutely, absolutely a waifu. I mean, come on, JK. Like, I'm a young active dude. I'd make you happy if you're looking for a young husband who's, you know, outspoken and opinionated like you are. I'd make you coffee and breakfast every single morning. Oh God, she's amazing. I fucking love her. Yeah. Daniel Radcliffe. Daniel Radcliffe's one of those two people. I think all the cast of fucking goddamn Harry Potter are gonna be like, "Ugh." You know, the circles they run with, they probably don't want to say anything bad. Yeah, she's unafraid to speak her mind, and that's the quality of a awesome person. And it's like the same exact thing that I have is that I cannot help but speak my mind. I do not give a shit what other people say. I do not give a shit what other people think. Nobody has an ability to impress their ideologies on me. There's no way it will never work. No matter how many people whine and bitch in comments and you fucking baby, I'm not gonna care. It's like I'm just not gonna give a shit. I am who I am. I know who I am. And I love being a fucking man. It's that simple. And I know that would piss a lot of people off on the left hearing that, but I mean that is what it is. So yeah, this is my video. JK Rowling. Oh, absolutely fucking love her. And yeah, hilarious shit with the UK Supreme Court. I mean, talk about talk about unprecedented thing you would never think in a million years would happen. So let's see what the reaction from the deranged leftists are on this one. Peace out.